Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. Tonight, I'd like to speak about, crap, just a second. I'll let that go to voicemail. And so I did at 2:15 a.m. in the morning of July 4th, 1996. I rolled over and let my telephone go to voicemail. A few minutes later, I could not get back to sleep, so I got up to listen to the message. It was my 74-year-old mother in a blind panic because my father had collapsed. My parents were born in 20 and 22, brought up in a working class portion of Montreal, and lived through the Depression. My dad was only 5'4", and he was sick from birth. He actually wasn't supposed to make it to the age of 18, but he did, and at 18, he took on the role of taking care of his entire family as his father had passed away and his two older brothers had left him with his mother and sisters. In 1942, when he was 22, he went off to war. He fought for 3 years, survived being shot 3 times, but made it home to marry my mom, his high school sweetheart. He fathered 4 children, and they fostered 8 more children together. For some silly reason, I felt it important that I speak at his funeral. I was a complete mess. It was disjointed. It was a bunch of emotions and words all put together. Toastmasters, where were you then? But one line I got out cohesively. I said that I hoped that I could be at least half the man that my father was. I fail a lot, but I try every day to stand up to that measure. It's 9:15 a.m. on September 4th, 1997. I'm at home, working. It wasn't vogue then like it is today. And the telephone rings. Kelly, my wife, had gone to the doctor's for her 8th month checkup. The doctor said, well, you're going to be a month early. It's time for you to go home, get your stuff, and come into the hospital. So we did. We kind of got organized, and we took pictures and stuff. This picture was taken a few hours before my oldest daughter was born. The birth was healthy, but it was very difficult on my wife. I can't imagine giving birth to a child. My wife tells me that if men had to have the babies, there would only be 1 child per household. Feeding, burping, changing diapers, swaddling, man, can I make one heck of a baby burrito. I took care of my wife and my child for 4 or 5 days. The apprehension quickly wore off, and I felt that my daughter and my wife had given me a gift that I don't often get, that men don't often get, and that's creating a bond with their father. It made me a better man, a better person. It's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday, February 13th, 2005. This time I'm waiting for the phone to ring. When it does, I answer the phone with a very weak and feeble hello. What seemed like 10 hours was probably only 2 or 3 seconds. But then, I started speaking with the other person on the other end of the phone for the very first time. About 30 minutes into our telephone call, my wife came home after running some errands and asked my daughters, who's Daddy speaking to? My daughter said, he's speaking to his mom. My other daughter said, his real mom. Today we know the term is birth mom. Just a few hours earlier, I had submitted my name to a website that tries to connect adoptees and parents who had given their children up for adoption. My understanding is that my experience is pretty unique. Most times this is not done within hours, but sometimes weeks, months, or even years to connect. You see, at 15, my mother was forced to leave her home, leave her community, and go have a baby, me, somewhere else, and then give me up for adoption. That day, We spoke a lot about many things, and one of the things I said that I thought that it was lucky that I was able to find her using her maiden name. She explained it was not luck, but it was intentional. She had decided through 2 marriages to keep her maiden name in the off chance I might want to find her. She realized that I may not want to speak to her, but she wanted to give me that opportunity. A few months later, I picked her up at Pearson Airport, and we hugged when we met, and we walked hand in hand back to my car to drive her back to my house. On that walk, she explained to me that she had actually never held me because I was taken away so quickly. It struck me that all this time she had hung on to that maiden name in the off chance that I might look for her, not expecting anything, never chasing me, but she really tried to put herself in my shoes. She really exuded some empathy in that situation. I feel my life is pretty normal. Though each of us has our unique stories, we all have challenges, we all experience successes. These 3 situations both define me and have taught me. They have taught me first to answer the call when it comes. And if you can't answer the call, call back, but deal with it. Secondly, try to help those around me, family, friends, co-workers, anybody that needs help. Step up, give them some help. Finally, and this is the most difficult thing to do sometimes, is try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Don't judge what they're doing or what they're saying. Just listen to them, let them be, and let them use you as a bit of a crutch. We all have the opportunity to do our best, even when we might not think our best is good enough. So long as we're doing our best, we should take comfort in putting our best effort in trying to be the better man, trying to be the better person. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, thank you for your time.